Okay, with this next story, it's a bit of a cliche in the world of journalism, but there are more questions than answers tonight in the case of the plan for a Qatari Air Force facility in the state of Idaho. One thing we do know is that Qatar will not have its own military base. The facilities they will build to house and train fighter pilots will remain under the control of the U.S. Air Force at the Mountain Home Base. It's about 50 miles southeast of Boise. But some of Idaho's state lawmakers want more information about what's going on. So 8 of them sent a letter to Idaho's congressional delegation in D.C., saying they are deeply concerned by the agreement with Qatar. Specifically, they write, the rise of radical Islamic terrorism remains a serious concern for many Americans. This agreement does little to ease those fears. On Tuesday, we heard from the mayor of Mountain Home for the first time about this, and he was asked if he knew the announcement from Secretary Hegseth was coming last Friday.
The wing commander called me and goes, "Hey, just letting you know, we found out too." So I think we are all shocked, I guess. Not shocked in the aspect that it's finally inked, but just the press release or the information wasn't laid down or put down to all of us in a more efficient manner. But I digress. Either way, it's fine. We're a big family-oriented place. Mountain Home is one of the most diverse communities in Idaho because of that Air Force Base. You've got every culture you can imagine from that Air Force Base. We've got our Basques, we've got our Hispanic community. We have everything you can think of in Mountain Home, and that makes us better. And this is no different than any other culture or country. We've been training all sorts of contingencies, from the Germans to the French to everybody out at that training base.
We also heard from a commander at the Air Force Base who said he expects the partnership with Qatar to be the same as existing foreign partnerships there.
We have a partnership with Singapore, and we join with them and we train daily with them, and we have some of the best airspace here in the country. And so it's exciting that the Singaporeans are here with us, and it's going to be equally as exciting when we get the Qataris here, just with those partnerships and working together and training. There's a lot of benefit, not only to the Qataris, but there's a lot of benefit to the men and women at Mountain Home Air Force Base across the base on just the training opportunities and stuff that we will have to embed with them and train with them and work with them. And I think we may not even see them until 2030. So there's still a lot of work to be done.
Both men confirmed that this plan did not happen overnight. This whole idea began back in 2017, when the first Trump administration approved the sale of $12 billion worth of American F-15 jets to Qatar. Then, in 2022, a 500-page report was published, which was mostly an environmental assessment of the partnership. The final finding, no significant impacts to the human or natural environment or surrounding communities. But apart from environmental concerns, the report also included details of the full project and mission. And let's be clear, nobody has confirmed what the current plan is. The government shutdown is affecting some of that right now. But let's look at some of the highlights from the 2022 report to give us an idea of what could be on the table now that this partnership is moving forward in our region. It would permanently station 12 Qatar-owned F-15 QA aircraft and about 300 additional personnel at the base. The Air Force described the proposal as part of a long-standing U.S. policy to provide training to foreign military forces from allied nations. Qatar's government specifically asked that its squadron be located with an existing U.S. Air Force group with access to airspace with terrain similar to the Middle East. Idaho's Mountain Home Air Force Base won that bid. Others were considered, including a base in North Carolina. Now, a key fact in this plan, Qatar's jets would be permanently based at the Mountain Home Base and operated as a separate but integrated squadron controlled by the U.S. Air Force. Again, all of this is subject to change. But Qatar's military leadership did visit the Idaho base 2 years ago in March. The chief of staff of Qatar's armed forces toured the base. So, only time will tell what happens next. But there appears to be a blueprint for a major partnership with Qatar based in Idaho.